Imagine a world where space travel and colonization of distant stars finally becomes possible. Now imagine that same world cut off by its main supply source, Earth, leaving those up in the stars all alone to fend for themselves. This is the basic premise for Ostranauts, a hardcore spacer simulator where you start off as a lowly shipbreaker and have to carve out your own path in life. In a lot of other universes, this would be a pretty straightforward path, but because the main leadership in Earth took a massive shock in the ablative cascade, super corporations and other seedy companies have taken over headship of civilization in space, leading things to be even worse than it ever could have been. Today, I'll be trying to survive as Giovanni Jaden Banks, a fresh-faced spacer looking to make some creds and a name for himself. Of course, as with anything, it won't be easy, as I've already taken up a massive debt just to rent out a literal iron coffin. So it's gonna be up to me to fix up this bad boy and reach the top, through blood, sweat, and probably a lot of tears. Wish me luck, everyone. Alrighty, everyone. It has been a while since I've covered this game, but we are back with Ostranauts. And hopefully the rust is not too bad, because we will die horribly if so. But I'm sure you're in good hands, Giovanni Jaden Banks. And right now, if you look around, we are stationed at K-Leg, going through the traditional start. I did skip the initial character sequence because it takes like a million years, so we are immediately dropped down into our ramshackle rented hovel. That's a mouthful and a half, but this is kind of like the game's tutorial that will teach you some basic systems, and you can get some very good supplies. For one, we're just gonna pick up our clothes, because believe it or not, a t-shirt and whitey tighties are not going to be able to get us through the vacuum of space. Neither will the sneakers, but at least we'll die in style, right? So let me go pick this up real quick. If I remember how to, I should just be able to go into here and equip like that. Awesome. I think we can also drag and drop. Yes, we can. We need to make sure the shoes are going on the right side, which they are. Look at that, we've already completed our first objective. Now we should be able to look around and grab all of our starting supplies, which isn't a lot, as all we have to our name is some scrap cloth, useful, technically trash, a basic pressure suit and pressure suit helmet, the absolute bare minimum you need in order to go into the vacuum of space, and we have our half-bloody, dirty tote bag. Inventory will also be another issue, but we will describe that later. Let me grab the suit and see if I can grab anything else. Nothing's in the fridge. Ah, yes, we got a drink pouch, which leaves the final part of our tool set, the toolbox. The toolbox itself isn't handy, but everything inside is great, including the soldering iron, the hacksaw, and the screwdriver, which will be able to set us on the path to repairing our ship. Speaking about that, we should probably give that a bit of a look. I'm a bit terrified. Oh, and of course, we have the introduction sequence. I'll read this one out because it's not as long as the character intro, which is also really well written. The door to K-Leg Station slides open and you're greeted by the familiar aroma of station vendor fare. Spot prawn stir fry and suya curry, kebab of chicken and a yaji spice rub, Szechuan beef with pink peppercorn. Your head knows that the meat is aquaponic or lab-grown or worse, but your heart tells you that anything prepared by human hands is better than Trencher's chow. Tired-looking spacers circulate between the bunks, the refuel kiosk, and the breaker yard, moving in and out of the gossamer haze of cigarette smoke that is a permanent fixture of the station. The smokes are Sungoya Viceroys, the breaker brand of choice. Folks here will chain smoke them unfiltered no matter how many times Iota-Miwa execs find them for overworking the CO2 scrubbers. Your new ship is waiting in port, not far from the kiosk hub and scrap shops. Once you find it, you can finally undock from this rock. If you want to strip ships for salvage, all you'll need are the hand tools you own, but you will need a welder to start remodeling and repairing hulls. Either way, if you're lucky, you can finally start making a living. Something beyond the corporate-sponsored rat race of breaking ships for daily wage. A life you can call your own. And that is the life I would want. How's my ship look? Not the best, but I will say, you know, it's a fixer-upper. The batteries are actually, half of them are destroyed. The wires are barely clinking on. All in all, this is a safety hazard, but it's my safety hazard. Are the nitrogen canisters even hooked up properly? Okay, they are, that's good to know. They got some juice in them too. Funny enough, this one that's connected to the third little thruster here doesn't even work because the thruster's broken. We can repair all of this though, because all we need is some gumption. Also money, we only have $100, so yeah, we're not going to be leaving the station just yet. We are going to be saving this for later. This is going to be a very slow episode compared to the grind we will have to go through later. For now, I guess I can look around to see what's really bad about this spot. And we can do that by opening up the visor, which allows you to see damage. Yeah, it's mainly components and the ship batteries that are pretty bad. I would want to repair all of the wiring though, because that would start a fire, and fires are not good. Of course, I'm gonna save it for later. Let's go head back inside the K-Leg station. Mainly because the real way you make money, especially starting off with just 100 buckaroos, is doing gigs at the little kiosk. We can do a few courier missions, get a few thousand, and with the few thousand, I would like to see if I can buy some nice supplies. Namely, anything that has to do with repair, maybe some life support systems too. Ooh, and already I'm eyeing up that Pro Toolbox and the backpack. Both of those would, oh, even better yet, the equipment trunk. All three of those would make my life transporting materials and breaking ships a hell of a lot easier. Maybe a couple of patches too. For now, we definitely need the money. So yeah, let me go head on over to the gig station, which you can interact by right-clicking and using. There's also a bounty board. The rewards look really nice, but we are nowhere near ready to tackle this. Instead, we're going to be doing some very low-cost missions. Which might seem a little bit weird if you had to actually drive out with a spaceship, but the cool thing is that most of these courier missions are on the station we're at right now, so all I need to do is pick it up and drop it off as fast as possible, and we can make upwards of $1,744. Enough to buy you like 2 whole cans of trenchers. Okay, I'm looking around right now. We actually can't do any of these courier missions nearby, at least doing it correctly in my opinion, because they have the pickup locker in Ezekue Commercial. We're in Port Ezekue, so we would want to reverse the locations, but just keep that in mind for later. Yeah, this area will be my kind of home. Even if the station is liable to explode at a moment's notice, the NPCs get a little bit quirky at night, and they will beat each other to death, just in a random brawl, or sometimes they forget to repair the scrubbers, and everyone dies on station. Hopefully that doesn't happen to us. We are gonna go walk past the scrap kiosk, instead interacting with the transit right here. If you remember, we have to go to the commercial district of this place, which we can do right... Where is it? Ah, right here, number 4. We are now at Ezekue Commercial. Stepping off the tram at K-Leg's commercial district, the difference is immediately apparent. It's not nicer, but maybe less worn out, like less people come here, or at least less rough and tumble types. The main point of interest here is a Port Authority office, a place every captain inevitably becomes familiar with as they navigate the web of red tape surrounding spaceport operations. Usually, you'll find at least a few pilots and ship owners slouched in line here, down on their luck and hoping for a break. The longer the line, the more likely that the nice clerk is on duty today. This district also offers spacers with funds to spare plenty of lavish means to part with their windfalls. The Shipbreaker offers mortgages on pre-owned vessels as well as derelicts from the boneyard stock. The Van Buren self-care kiosk offers medical products and treatments for acute and chronic ailments. Embassies for distant colonies allow application for permanent resident visas, coveted for tax discounts and improved legal treatment. Unfortunately, the decade since the loss of Earth to the ablative Cascade of 59 has rendered colony interaction increasingly rare and informal, and legal status highly coveted, let alone full citizenship. Legal status often confers local benefits such as cargo trade discounts and rights to purchase private housing and docking. Very cool. I don't care though, I'm completely poor. I'm just here to do some damn work. Because now, if you ignore the random sticker, whoever put this here is evil, by the way, we can do the quest, which will have us take sterile bandages to Melissa Shaw, who needs the item in question to complete a hostage exchange. That's interesting. I don't want to ask too many questions. We will take the gig, and immediately we're going to be on a timer, so we need to make things quick. We're going to access a locker, pick up those bandages, and if I remember correctly, we just need to go down to the port and drop it off in that locker. It's a very easy way to make money, but obviously it's pennies. Bada boom, baby! We got the platinum tier payout, netting me 1,743 US dollars. I'm surprised we still use that as a currency. Now here's the fun part. I would spend it on stuff like the backpack and the like, but we also need one more thing that's pretty damn important. We need a license in order to salvage. That's right, it does not come free. If we don't have a license and we get pulled over by the police, we will get brutalized. And I don't have a weapon to kill them. I mean, not that I would, that's incredibly illegal. But we can buy a 24-hour license for $5,000. It's a steal. Of course, we're only about a third of the way there, so we will need to work our way on up. For now, though, I'm going to backtrack over to the tutorial because we did kind of miss that part, in which a lot of it is just accepting tasks and the like. But if you look down here, you can see that it literally has a conduit tied to a door saying install. So we can kind of figure out how to fix up, small little repairs. With this small little task, we can figure out how to install a new wire. We right click, install it, bada boom, and our character should do the rest. We will speed up time to make this a little bit more palatable. I kind of forgot, Giovanni Jaden Banks is kind of dumb as bricks. Oh, hindsight is 2020 and the fact I should have got him an engineering degree. Still, it should be on, and we can access the door. What is my reward now? Oh, a 30-inch classic combat knife made of carbon steel with a leather-ringed handle and a partially serrated blade. That's going to be a surprise tool to help me later, so I'll drop that inside my little tote bag. How does it look in my hand? Oh, mean and not green. I am going to put it away now, though, because I do believe it is a little bit illegal to have on station. Now that we got that out of the way, there should be another secret that's not incredibly illegal to do, which is just going to be going down here and activating the switch, giving me access to a crowbar, which is also a fantastic melee weapon, but an even better tool. Yoink. And do you think I could take the fire extinguisher? I mean, it's just here, right? What's the worst that could happen? Yeah, I'm taking it with me. Okay, cool. Now we are ready, everyone, to do more courier missions. We're gonna probably do that for a little bit, maybe buy myself some food, and then we can think about finally leaving the station. I'll see you guys in a second. Without these courier missions, I would have had to turn to a life of crime very, very quickly. And I was looking around, and there are the ones to where you could just do the same gophering, but there is also one more that would pay substantially more that is still in-house. This one right here, which has us delivering it to Connor Mullen instead of dropping it off inside a locker. If we can find him in time, we can get upwards of $4,223. Even better yet, though, he is in Port Ezekwe, so if we could do that, that would be good. Let me go see if I can actually find the person. Oh, and just to clear things up, we're actually delivering it to Vincent Roberts. So we're going to find him, scout him out, say hello, then we will deliver the goods. There he is, Vincent Roberts. That should be the guy, so we know where to go. Let me go to the old Mescaform then. The red neons cast heavy shadows in the old Emporium, Kaleg's only leisure district. The OE is a relic of a former world, a porter to the halcyon days of the Wildcat Nigerian colony before Earth's abolition cascade gutted the economy. Spacers come here to escape the bureaucratic grind, to imagine a world without bosses, to split a chilled bottle of Bismerta even if they can't afford to. A dozen meters away from the shuttle, you see a knot of revelers gathered in the warm light of the Mescaform bar. Laughter and conversation float through Mescaform in a melange of English, Mandarin, and even Yoruba. The last one might be a sign AO manages are mixing it up with the common folk. Whatever the language, the warm organics of human voices is a welcome departure from the hollow echo of comm chatter. One of the faces in the crowd is a fixer. They're a known quantity in the station community, Kaleg's portal to a system-wide, ever-shifting black market whose appetite for used ship parts and other rare salvage can never be sated. It shouldn't be too hard to get the fixer talking. Just mention you have something to trade and they're likely to be interested. Very awesome. Finally, we are free to do what I came here for. More menial labor. And stop me if I'm a little bit crazy, but I think I'm going to take 2 courier missions instead of the one, because we do have this one here, delivering it to Vincent, but there's also another courier mission here that lets us go to the commercial district. So I'm thinking we hurry up, do this one, bounce back to the port, deliver it to Victor. Or what's his name? Vincent, not Victor. I don't know why I think it's Victor. Yeah, let's take both of them. Boom. And then we take this one here. Bingo. Oh, okay, it must be empty. Hey, you know what? I'll take a silver tier payout. Why can't I do this one now? He needs the item in question. Did I not turn it in? Oh no, I don't think I did that one correctly. Oh, son of a biscuit! Don't go inside that locked area, Vincent. I need to talk to you now. It's been delivered. Okay, yeah, look at that. $4,289, giving me $8K in total. Now, you could do this theoretically for a while, but It's like mopping the damn floors, you know? We're here to scrap some ships. But now, we can do it legally. Bada bingo. We have an official salvage license from the kiosk on K-Leg. This bad boy right here, the Yellow Eye Yodamiwa salvage permit, will allow me to not get beaten down by police officers and also sell things to this little kiosk here, which has its own little trading interface. I'm not gonna wait though because we have nothing to even buy in the first place. I'm gonna go down, get some basic storage, and we can finally head out. And you know what? I think I've earned some suya curry. The prices for food can be a little bit rough in the early game, but I deserve the best. Giovanni also does have a weak stomach, which is why I'm buying, you know, the best quality food we can get. We will eat that right now, after we long for better food. You wistfully imagine tasting real earth food, grass-fed meat, fresh-caught fish, field-grown produce. Now devour it. Cool beans, we have recently savored a gratifying culinary experience solving our hunger issue. Up next, I will be buying the backpack, one pro toolbox, a couple of Holden patches and Ripley seal kits. You never know when you might need these. Oh, and how could I forget the angle grinder and friction stir welder. That should get me a lot of things done. Yeah, and that's most of my money gone immediately. Do I need anything else? Oh, and also a couple of batteries. That is just really nice. Okay, cool. That's $2,600 gone. We have $400 left to our name. Now we can get started. Immediately replacing my old toolbox with all of the fixings. Angle grinder, stir welder, soldering iron, hacksaw, screwdriver, fire extinguisher. And you, my friend, the Harangue Plastic toolbox, you get to stay on the station. You're actually pretty useless to me. Goodbye. Now it's finally time to head out, everyone. Is what I would say. We need to repair a lot of the stuff around here. Okay, we can't repair the battery because we are missing parts, but we can, at the very least, upkeep the parts that aren't completely busted to where they won't become irreparable. I know it sucks we're not doing anything interesting right now, but it's very important we do this before we forget. You see that antenna? It's actually damaged. I can't leave the station if we don't fix this. In which we will need... Huh, it actually doesn't say what I need. I'm gonna guess it's a motherboard and some electronic scrap. Also, this ship is a death sentence, man. It's a coffin just waiting around. I mean, look at this. This wall right here, this super damaged wall, yeah, that's patched. That is not structurally sound. There are conduits completely damaged. Oh, brother, this is gonna be a rough go. At least I know what I'm gonna be spending the $400 on, and that is all random bits of scrap. Just for tutorial sakes too, if you need scrap, you can buy it at the scrap kiosk. Alright, do your thing now, Giovanni. Come on, we are literally running out of oxygen the more you lounge around. Oh, okay, there it is. We are finally repairing the antenna. We can't leave the station without this thing, because it is what connects to our transponder that identifies our ship. Without it, we are a ghost in the system, which is not good when it comes to bureaucracy. So we do need to fix this thing up. I did need to sell my old toolbox, which, you know, we weren't really using it, in order to buy the aluminum scrap we needed to fix it up. The rest of these electronic parts should be very helpful in remedying a lot of the other spots on our ship. But yeah, slow and steady repairs like this are what turns this literal coffin into a slightly safer one, maybe built out of mahogany rather than pine wood. And so the lesson here is if you don't feel safe in your own ship, maybe sit and repair it, be a little bit patient, and have yourself be saved from a very terrible fate. It shouldn't take too long to repair this thing, then we just need to build up its condition. That way if we crash into anything, it won't immediately explode again, because this is one of the most important parts on the ship. We will give that some time. We might be running out of oxygen soon because this suit right here is the pressure suit. If I were to describe this thing using like real world terms, it would be like putting a plastic bag on your head and trying to fix a barrel underwater. Not the best, but it's all we have right now. Okay, we did 3 passes. It's not fully maxed out, but that is a decent amount right there. Now what we're going to have to do is go into our actual ship and start to repair everything else, which is going to take some time. We have time, though. We have more than enough. Wow, Giovanni, I really realized I made a meathead. Okay, it's going to take a while to fix up that battery, so maybe we ought to fix up the holes and stuff before. Okay, that is going to be all the repairs we can do, everyone. I used up all of the scrap just about inside my little tote. We do have some scrap steel, but we need aluminum and carbon fiber. There are still some hole patches around the floor, which is pretty damn scary. Yeah, we definitely are missing supplies for it. So this is as far as we can take things. It's not the best, and I definitely will fix up that ship battery before I go any further. But I do see some areas that could be renovated, right? If we look at the visor, we can look at the power draw of the entire ship and see that some of these wires we can definitely cut out, right? Like this whole weird little spot here, we can get the conduits there, maybe a little bit there, cut it off that way and then drop it somewhere else if we need to. Plus we do have the hole patches. It's as good as it's going to get is what I'm trying to say. Fun fact, you actually don't need to waste money like I did. If you're feeling pretty risky, you can go on a derelict and scrap everything you need to repair the submarine. Sorry, not submarine. I've been thinking of barotrauma recently. The spaceship, that's what it is. There is one more thing we can do before leaving, and that's repairing the battery to full, at least giving me a little bit more charge and life support capabilities. Yeah, overall, I think this was a very fruitful first episode. A lot of it was introduction and yap, but that's kind of what this game is. It's slow-paced, and I definitely will need to pick up the pace editing as the game becomes more of a grind. But for now, we are taking baby steps forward. Next time, we're going to do some basic piloting and some basic scrapping, the actual game loop of the game. It's pretty damn exciting. Anyways, as I repair the ship battery to full, if you guys want to see more of this series, be sure to like, favorite, share, and subscribe for more, because I would really love to check out, number one, the ship combat. I would also like to set up a full fusion reactor and check out new planets, do some of the new quest lines, and a bunch of bounty hunting. It's a lot on my plate, and hopefully you guys will be there with me through this journey. Peace the hell out, everyone.